call the order the Delaware County Commissioners meeting of Monday, November the 2nd, 2015. Please stand. Oh, we have a veteran. Oh, no, I guess he didn't make it. Sorry about that. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, could we have the roll call, please?
Mr. Henry. Here. Mr. King.
Here.
Ms. Reagan.
Present.
Mr. Murphy. Here.
And I think our first line of business is the Yorktown Public Library has an appointment that they need to fill, and we've been given a letter of recommendation for Patricia Freeman. And she's very active volunteer there. What's your pleasure?
I'll make a motion that we appoint Ms. Freeman to the Yorktown Board.
I'll second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. King.
Yes.
Mr. Henry.
Yes.
Ms. Reagan.
Yes. Okay, thank you. I always like it when our people volunteer. Okay, now we have a presentation from Carrie.
You want to approve the minutes?
Oh, on approval minutes, I'm sorry.
I'll make a motion to approve the October 19, 2015 minutes.
Second.
Roll call.
Mr. Henry.
Yes.
Mr. King.
Yes.
Ms. Reagan.
Yes. Thank you. Now we have Carrie. Oh, you want to sit it over here? Sure. Be fine. Let Roger take a good picture of that. Did you build that one?
I did not. I had a friend's father build this here. Thank you for allowing me just a few minutes of your
Is that
time.
on?
Is it on?
Can you hear?
Is it blue?
Blue or red?
No. No, it is. A few minutes of your time this morning to talk to you. My name is Carrie Bale, and I'm with the By 5 Early Childhood Initiative located working here in Delaware County. And we have a couple of things that we're working on. But our big goal is that by 2020, we would like all children in Delaware County kindergarten ready. We have a ways to go. Our benchmark currently, after 3 years of assessment, is only 47% of the children in our communities are ready to be there to be successful. The reason we're focusing on this is what brain research is telling us about what happens in the first 5 years of life. 90% of brain development happens by the age of 5. Some people go, well, what do you mean? We don't learn everything we know in our entire life before the age of 5. We don't, but the foundation for how we learn and the ability to be successful occurs before the age of 5. Many times people think learning starts in school, and that isn't the case. It starts at birth. And we need to bring an awareness to the community around that. So a couple of years ago, I actually started planning in the community for this big initiative about bringing awareness to it and strategizing how do we help the community. We have a long-range strategic plan with over 25 different strategies that we're working on. And the one I'm talking to you about today is just a small piece of a large pie. And you can see that in your packets I gave you for some nighttime reading. At the back, you'll see the 25 different strategies that we're working on. One of the lowest overall scores across the community is early literacy. Children coming without the necessary literacy and language skills to be ready to be successful. So we need to infuse as many literacy initiatives throughout the community that we possibly can. So children are seeing books, hearing people talk about books, seeing kids reading and getting excited about it. So one of those is the Little Free Libraries. Some of you have heard of this. This is actually a worldwide phenomenon. This isn't something we created. But what we're doing is taking it to the next level. And we want to see numerous amounts of Little Free Libraries going up throughout the entire county. So children are seeing this, and they have access to books 24/7 when they would like to have one. This is my traveling one I take to fairs, and people can see that. They can come in all shapes and sizes. We also are connecting all the Little Free Libraries through a newsletter. We're giving them bookmarks to put in there. We also are giving them stickers to bring in a brand awareness about what's happening with that. We actually would like to see 50 in the community by the end of next year. This Thursday, we're having a celebration to kick off the birth of the Delaware County Little Free Library Network. And that we have 4 sites that right now were pilots that worked through this process, worked through our packet, sent in an application, said we need design help, we need supplies, we need somebody to help us build it. And so we have lined up a ready list of folks that are ready and waiting to hear who needs an architect to help, who needs this. We have a list of volunteers that have agreed to help make that happen. So this Thursday, we have 4 that have been, since August, worked on building and creating their little free libraries, and each site is having their own birthday party. And you're welcome to come to any one of those sites, and we're going to celebrate the birth, and hopefully next year, on November 5th, we'll be able to celebrate the birth of 50 more little free libraries throughout our community. So it's one way, one light touch initiative, it's called, for early literacy, that we're hoping to really catch on in our community, and like I said, take it to the next level than what's happening on a nationwide. When I called the national office in Wisconsin and told them, they said, oh, 5 is really nice. And I said, well, we really want 50 or 100. And she said, wow. I said, it's part of a greater vision. It's part of a shared vision for the community, and that we hope that will take off, see them in neighborhoods and yards, at businesses, and so kids can have access to books. And so that's one piece of 25 different strategies that we are working on currently. If you'd like to learn more about By 5, this Sunday, we will be highlighted on the education division of the Gary Dick Inside Indiana Business Show. So you can learn a little bit more about the comprehensive approach that we're using here in our community to support raising the awareness and the importance of early childhood.
Well, Carrie, thank you very much for lugging that up here. And I see Rick, our HR person back there. You know, we have a lot of creative people here in the community, right, this building. So maybe we could have a contest or something and we'll let you come back and be a judge on something. But anybody can do it. And I'm thinking of putting one on my mailbox on the house side, because it's not going to be that fancy, but we appreciate all the work you're doing, and thanks again for coming here today.
Thank
Any
you.
questions?
Thank you.
Any questions?
From the public?
Okay, thank
Will you be able to stick around a little bit?
I can. Mhm.
Thanks. Okay. And did Nancy slip in? I didn't see Nancy, our bicentennial coordinator for the county. They have extended the torch relay nomination, and they moved it back to January 31st next year. But we do have some of these nomination forms in the office, if anybody'd like to pick up. Okay, going down to our contracts and agreements, the Humana contract, Mr. Spangler's here, HR.
Good morning, Commissioners. Rick Spangler, Human Resources. Before you have the 2016 contract for Humana, which is the retirees insurance plan. It's exactly the same as last year. The increase is very small. It's $11 a month per person, so whatever your pleasure.
And the retirees pick up the whole $11.
Oh, no, we pay that. You guys pay that. You guys and the council pay that.
We're splitting. Oh, so we pick up,
Mhm.
commissioners pick it up. Okay. It is a very good plan. Questions for Mr. Spangler? How long have we been with Humana?
I can't tell you, Sherry. I know probably at least 3 or 4 years.
I'll make a motion to accept the contract with Humana.
Second.
Roll call?
Mr. Henry.
Yes.
Mr. King.
Yes.
Ms. Reagan.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. The PAM agreement to donate real estate. Oh, that's our neighbor, our friend over here. And I didn't get his name, so give us your name and address, please.
My name is Michael Steichleather, opposite 5300 West Hessler Road, Muncie, Indiana, 4744. I have a handout for you, please. I might refer you to this map here, this beacon map, developed in Delaware County GIS. You'll see a blue line in this area right here. That's the eastern portion of the watershed. It flows into a pond on Benton Road. The pond is approximately a quarter of a mile north of Jackson Street and approximately a half mile, I'm very roughly, south of McGalliard. You can see then a black line. That is the rest of the watershed, and ultimately it flows to the Hyatt Ditch. I'll refer to the second page in just a moment. This property drains land north of the pond. It drains also the properties of Yorktown Meadows subdivision. It acts as a flood prevention device west of Benton Road to control water that flows down the Pimple 182 drain and ultimately into Hyatt Ditch. I used to live in that area, and before that pond was reconstructed in 2005, because the area is flooded, particularly across the lane on Star Lane. In August of 1993, the Delaware County Drainage Board had it reconstructed west of Benton Road and also then accepted into Yorktown Meadows Pond. The reconstruction of the pond and drainage of done in 2005 and accepted in 2005 by the Delaware County Drainage Board. If you could go to the second page, please. This is the shaded area. It's outlot number 1 in Yorktown Meadows subdivision. The lot is approximately 2/3 of an acre. The pond's approximately 1/2 an acre in size. It also has, this is very important, has a Delaware County emergency siren structure located on the lot. The pond's in great condition. We've had the wettest July on record, same as this past year, and it performed admirably. I have shown pictures of the Delaware County Drainage Board, and it is in great shape. What I'm doing is seeking turnover to the county because it serves multiple public functions, as I mentioned before, a water retention east of Benton Road for multiple properties. It makes a flood control device west of Benton Road for multiple properties. Contains a warning siren for Delaware County to serve the citizens out in that area. Also, the parties of Pam Limited are getting older, and they're still obviously not interested in taking care of this, and we want to make sure we turn it over properly to the county.
I've been working with Mr. Stikelether on this and the drainage board. I'm not fond of the county owning retention ponds. However, this particular pond is part of the drainage system for that addition, and there is actually some catch basins that are hooked to this pond. So when Mr. Stikelether come to us asking us to take possession of this property, I went out and took a look at it. There is a couple drainage lines running into this and one going out. It's not your typical pond, but it is part of the drainage system. Therefore, I'm in favor and make a motion to accept this agreement to take this property into our possession.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
I do have a question for Angie. Angie, the funds to mow this and kind of maintain it, where would we, you suggest we take that out of?
This will be through the drainage board. The
They
drainage
would-
board can't own the lands, the commissioners can.
We own the land, but the drainage board will do the maintenance for it.
That's my understanding, is that right, Shannon?
Yes,
the
that's
way
correct.
it's
And as of now, the county already maintains that and pays an individual to mow it. I've looked at it several times throughout this process, and it's always been mowed every time I've seen it. But it's
Kind of curious why they didn't do this years ago.
nobody wanted to do it, I guess. And maybe Mr. Stikelether wasn't willing to get rid of it years ago.
I would always be happy to get rid of the retention pond. I can build a house with a houseboat on it.
Right.
So,
Well, we appreciate you taking care of it all these years. And, glad that you brought it to our attention to get it corrected, because it seems like it is our property. Okay, roll call, please.
Mr. Henry.
Yes.
Mr. King.
Yes.
Ms. Reagan.
Yes. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks, the drainage
Yeah,
board.
you get it.
Okay. Now we have a resolution for approval.
Jerry, did you get my?
I did not.
No,
Oh,
it's right there.
I wonder, okay, I'm sorry. It'd be 2015033. Just on down there. I didn't open up my computer today.
I didn't.
Okay, so it's resolution 2015-033. Resolution to assign tax sale certificates from Delaware County to the City of Muncie Redevelopment Commission. And who's speaking on this? There she is, Janet, thank you.
Janet Kessler, is this on?
Is it the
Is it
line?
on? Janet Kessler, tax sale deputy with the auditor's office. Good morning.
Good morning.
The representative from Muncie Redevelopment could not make it this morning, so they are requesting this property located at 220 East Memorial, and they have an end use for this property and the plans to get it back on the tax rolls.
I did not drive by there. Can you kind of refresh our memory where that might be? It's the,
I'm not sure.
be on the north side.
Do you know what they intend to do with the property?
I was hoping that Brad King, the representative from MRC, would be here to explain it further, but he couldn't make it, and I don't have any information on it. I just know that there's
This would-
delinquent taxes.
With, not that phone system.
I'm trying to put this in 220
Rabbit,
Memorial.
that strike my
Familiar
memory.
with it? I'm sorry.
Around Jefferson, Mulberry.
Yeah, I think those are houses out through there.
Yeah, it's gotta be a house.
Yeah, I don't think they're east or west. I'd like, I'd sort of like to know if they're going to.
I'd like to make a motion to table this.
I would too. I'd like to drive by and see.
That's
how
fine,
the tax
yeah.
is.
With it being residential, I mean, I would really like to know what their intent is with the property. Are they gonna tear it down, maybe give it to Habitat?
I don't know if it's for the
something like that?
hardest hit fund or not,
Yeah.
and they would be able to explain it further.
If
Yeah,
you
because
could-
I would love to get the property back on the tax roll, but, I mean, if we're giving the property away to
Right.
them, at least somebody from the Muncie Redevelopment Commission should be here to
I wanna
explain
know
what
what they're gonna
they're
do with it.
with the property, because I think over the past couple of years, we've given a lot of property to the city.
116 properties, yes.
Right, to be tore down, and I would actually like to know, what are they doing with the property when we give it back to them? That's one of the things I would like to know.
Okay.
Most of them are tear downs, but I'm not sure about this
Yeah,
one.
okay, thank you.
Okay, thank
If you
you.
could get him here for us,
Yes.
appreciate that. Need a motion on
The
that?
motion was made by Shannon to table it.
I'll second it.
Roll call, please.
Mr. King.
Yes.
Mr. Henry.
Yes.
Ms. Reagan.
Yes. Okay, now we have resolution 2015-034, resolution to assign tax sale certificate from Delaware County to the East Central Indiana Regional Planning District. And now we have Mr. Book out here.
Commissioners, good morning. Brad Bookout with Delaware County Economic Development. Through the work that we've been completing for the county, we've visited now or contacted on your behalf 143 businesses. We have 17 total projects that we're working on. One of those businesses that we have come into contact with is a business in Albany. I'd like to remain nameless at this time. They are interested in expanding in Albany, investing to expand their business, also create new jobs in the town of Albany. And we were looking for a location where they could expand to in the town. We found a location, it's brought to our attention, of 200 block of South Maynard Avenue in Albany. There is acreage at this site. Currently, the property, as I've been made aware, has been through 6 tax sales and has not sold. This company would be so interested in that property if the property could be assigned over to a not-for-profit entity. I had proposed that the not-for-profit entity that you assign the property to be the ECI Regional Planning District. The ECI Regional Planning District would then issue a request for proposals, which I've given you a copy of that request for proposals, for developers who would be so willing to get the property, A, back on the tax rolls, invest money in the property to clean it up, and lastly, create jobs. So that proposal is before you that I created. The timeline for such, if you do pass the resolution today, is the RFP will be issued tomorrow. Will be printed in the Star Press. The RFP will be due on November 17th. If whoever the successful respondent is, the contract would be awarded on November 18th. The respondent would then be responsible financially to perfect the tax certificate to a tax deed, and improvements to the property would have to be completed by July 1st, 2016. So I think this is a good purpose, this property, to get it back on tax rolls. It's been a blighted eyesore in the town of Albany for some time. Now that we have somebody interested in it, I think this is the proper way to go through the steps to get it in the hands of somebody who will do something with it.
Well, we appreciate you and Pam willing to accept it too, and do all the paperwork.
Yeah, Pam prefers not to hold it for more than about 30 seconds
Well,
because the redevelopment commission will not maintain insurance on it, so it will just be literally a pass-through.
well, and I can
So,
appreciate that,
yeah.
but we don't want the public to think that we're throwing something through, because as you said earlier,
I concur.
the property doesn't have any sign saying, if you're interested, call so-and-so. It just,
Yeah, that is
so
correct.
we
But
don't
it-
want them to think we're
Yeah, but to that end, it has been through
six
multiple
sales.
tax
That is quite a few
sales.
sales,
And the RFP will be advertised in the Star Press 2 times.
and we're lucky we
And a
found someone.
14-day, 2-week respondent time for
Very
that.
good.
So, and so any entity could respond to this RFP.
And what I like is the way Brad explained where this property is gonna go, how it's gonna
Right.
go back on the tax roll.
Back on the tax
And-
roll.
and, instead of just coming up and asking us just to sign off on
That's right.
something. So
Appreciate
I
that.
appreciate that, Brad.
Thank you, James.
I'll make a motion to accept Resolution 2015-034.
I'll second.
Roll call,
Mr. Henry.
Yes.
Mr. King.
Yes.
Ms. Reagan.
yes. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Ray.
And then we have one more here. Resolution,
Sharon,
Um,
somebody else?
No, this,
Yeah.
that resolution.
Okay.
Resolution 2015-035, resolution to assign tax self-certificates in Delaware County to the city Muncie Sanitary District.
I'm Julie Baring, standing in for Nikki Grigsby. She had another meeting today. I'm helping them with their real estate in the McKinley neighborhood, which is where these properties are located. The sanitary district is doing actually 2 projects in that area. One is a levee project, and one is the separation of the sanitary and the storm sewers, and that's what these houses will be used for. If you've been over there lately, you've seen that we have already started to demo a number of the homes that we've purchased, and then there's a couple of them that are scattered in and out. We couldn't find the owners and then realized that they were part of this process. So that's what we're here to do, is to acquire them. They will be tearing them down.
Well, and so you're just helping her as a contractor?
Yes,
Okay, and I appreciate all the labor, because this is quite a list, and
yes it is.
I did drive over there, and I split them in North Jefferson, North Madison, North Mulberry, and North Elm Street. And I did find one at 721 North Elm that I thought maybe Habitat, because we know we have to have a good foundation and a good roof, which we can replace. But I didn't get out of my car and walk all the way around. I just picked up my packet Friday, so I drove Saturday and Sunday. And so I would kind of like to really pull this 721.
Well, actually,
North
we
Elm.
bought the Habitat's homes that are in this area and have worked with Lindsay. We've also purchased a lot off of her. And what we're doing is they're going to, the remainder of that ground that will be between Elm and Madison, they're going to close a portion of that road and actually add it to the park that's over there where the Cardinal Greenway. So Lindsay is actually on board with what we're doing.
And I figured maybe she'd already, and they didn't come in until 9 o'clock. this morning for me to ask, because I've noticed, and I really appreciate, I cut through there to go to church, how you have cleaned up by the levee. And we were kind of told that most of these were by the levee, but those have already been taken down.
Well, we're in the process of taking them down. We're in the next phase of that right now.
Yeah, but these are kind of over by Concannon
And that's part of the sanitary and the storm sewer separation. There's actually two projects in that area. There's the storm and the sanitary separation, and then there's the levee project.
yeah. So, I don't know if you guys have had a chance to drive by and look at them. And, you know, I mean, I know Habitat's, I think they've done about, what, 22 rehabs this past 5 or 6 years.
And they have to have the houses for the separation
Yes, yes.
Like it's going through,
through the
I'm not an
property.
engineer, but that's my understanding.
all of these, I mean, there was one, this one's 737's on a corner. Is there a, I mean, they're not gonna start next week or two, if we wanted to table it.
Actually, we've already started. Not on
Well, I
yours,
mean,
but on
the
the
demo,
others.
yeah, they got trees down and it's looking nice.
I make a motion we approve the resolution 2015-035.
No second.
Roll call.
Mr. Henry?
Yes.
Mr. King?
Yes.
Ms. Reagan?
No. Thank you for your time and effort to come in.
Thanks.
Okay, department heads, elected officials.
Morning, Commissioners. John Kennedy, Emergency Management. Jason couldn't be here today for the EMS side, so I'm presenting the EMS write-offs for September, which totaled $354,954.61. I think Denise, he emailed Denise as well.
Yes. You need to sit.
I make a motion to approve the write-off.
Second.
Roll call.
Mr. King?
Yes.
Mr. Henry?
Yes.
Ms. Reagan?
Yes. Thank you, Don, for filling in.
Thanks, John.
Okay, anybody else?
I've got something. With this being Mr. Henry's first year, able to look over how like some of our appointments has worked and everything, I don't know if you guys would be interested in maybe taking apps for some of the other positions and stuff. I don't know if you'd be interested, or even you, Sherry,
I don't have a problem with
or
that. Okay.
looking into some of our appointments. I know, and Chris left, but we also need to look at Chris McCammon's talking about retiring in December. We
Hadn't
might-
heard that.
We might want to start looking to
Well, yeah.
replace him, so, I mean, just things that we can start looking at. I know we did some replacements at the beginning of the year. You know, maybe we might want to start looking at other options and stuff.
I agree.
So advertise all of our department heads? Would we ask Mr. Spangler to help us
Yeah,
get that in
we'll
line?
get with Rick and get it done. All
Okay.
right,
You don't
Good with
need-
that, Rick?
that's all I've got.
Okay, Chris, got some good news for us? You guys have been busy out there, haven't you?
Yes, we have, I think you folks have the completed paving list of, or as of what we have up to date in front of you, as well as the tabulation sheet that tells what we've done. We're still chipping and sealing. If we get 400 East and 12th Street from Country Club up to 400 East, that should put us up around 30 miles total for chip and seal and paving.
And that's, when I was out there on 400 East, I thought, you know, that's just the time to get it when those cracks are starting.
Right, we're gonna keep working until the weather holds up with us.
Yeah.
Money's getting about dry, but
Uh-huh.
we have realized that we can,
I'm sorry?
we have realized that we can chip seal probably maybe almost 4 miles compared to 1 mile of paving, and it needs it. Our roads need sealed.
Black Cemetery looks real nice too up
Thank you.
there.
Thank
How many miles of, like, cemetery did you get done?
That's on the list, I think it's,
2.5. Yeah. Okay, well, thank you very much for the report.
Looks very good, Chris.
thank you. We're continuing to strike. Appreciate Angie helping us with the mapping.
Oh, yeah.
We've got all of our white edging done. Now we're working on the center lines. We're about halfway down on that. Weather holds up, we'll get it done.
Uh-huh. How many miles of striping you think you're going to be doing? And do you have any idea?
Good question. I didn't bring my map with me.
It was 60
Do you have
miles
it on
of,
you?
it's 60 miles of edging, white edging, and I think it was 94 miles of center line, so we're about halfway through. If the weather holds
We've
up,
had
we'll
some
be.
good weather this fall.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
And Chris, we were discussing about you're going to be retiring. I know you've discussed about maybe if we find somebody bringing them in as part-time or something toward the end of the
Oh,
year. So
absolutely.
you can
Yeah,
help them and help train them.
Yeah, I'm not leaving because I'm mad or upset.
Right.
I'm just,
You're just ready to go, right?
well, I want to do something, I'm still healthy.
Go
and,
fishing more.
Mm-hmm.
Just some other things I want to do, yeah. So I'll absolutely, anything I can do to help you folks. You guys have been great.
Okay, thanks, Chris.
Thank you, Chris.
Oh, and you have a new person I want to come out. Payroll, I believe she started.
Simona Marshall, she's doing a very good job. Very good, very quick, catching on very fast.
Very good. Okay, thanks a lot. Anybody else? Okay, now we'll,
Any claims?
yeah. Our weights, did I skip? Oh, weights and measures report. Okay, we have the payments of claims of $2,343,376.64.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Roll call.
Mr. Henry.
Yes.
Mr. King.
Yes.
Ms. Reagan.
Yes. And then we have, any comments? I see Nancy. Nancy, I mentioned the extension on the torch deadline. Would you like to invite anybody to the breakfast that wants to come? While you're here.
I'm Nancy Carlson, County Coordinator of the Indiana Bicentennial for Delaware County. And as you've already heard, there's a torch relay coming through in 2016, September 27th. And there are a lot of stakeholders, some are here in this room, that are interested or need more information about how they will participate. For example, security is something we're interested in, safety. And we're having a stakeholders meeting November 12th. It's a breakfast at Minnetrista at 7:30. And if you feel like your department is a stakeholder, we wish you would come. And I'll sit here till the end of the meeting, so let me know. And I have plenty of applications for torch bearers if you have someone you want to nominate. We only have 9 nominations in so far.
Yeah, I'm
We
glad
need
they-
24.
I'm glad they extended it.
And it was in the paper this morning, so.
And I
thank you.
heard, I heard on the radio over the weekend. Okay.
Thank you.
Anybody else here?
Make a motion recess.
Okay.
I'll second.
Roll call.
Mr. King.
Yes.
Mr. Henry.
Yes.
Ms. Reagan.
Yes. Thank you.